Hello, a very good afternoon, sir. Welcome to PSM. Thank you for being with us here today. I am Priyanka and she is Ishani.
Hi Priyanka, hi Shani. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for giving me this platform, first of all.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, so for those who don't know, Mr. Ram Srivastava is the founder of a home kitchen, Khabu Khanebaz. So, sir, we want to know more about it and how exactly did you come up with the name? Because it's a really different, unique sort of a name.
Okay. I completely get that. That it's a unique, different name. So apparently, I belong to UP. In UP, somebody, or rather in northern part of India, barring Punjab, anybody who eats a lot is called khabbu. Okay, in Punjab, obviously, it's left-handed, which is called khabbu. And khanebaz is another synonym for somebody who eats a lot. So it kind of rhymed for me. So I just kept the name Khabbu Khanebaz. That's it.
It's
That's
quite
how the story came.
okay. And so, like, how did you plan to start it? Like, how did the idea come? Like,
So honestly, the idea was always there in mind. I always loved to cook, as in obviously not from the beginning, but then post around 13, 14, I started loving cooking, especially non-vegetarian food. So that's when the passion started. And then in COVID, since everybody's life got transformed, same happened with me. So that's how I thought that it will be a cushion in terms of earning extra monies as well. And then obviously I can follow my passion because offices are not opening soon enough.
that's great, sir. So, that could you tell us more about your educational and professional background? Like, what were you doing prior to opening your kitchen?
Sure, sure. So I am a event management professional. I have been working since last 10 years with various companies across India, the top-notch MNCs. Uh, my last stint was with Radio Mirchi Noida. I was their regional head for events vertical. Prior to that, I've worked for Group M, Madison, all the media agencies primarily, and I've handled events like IPL, Champions Trophy 2017, 2019 Cricket World Cup. So multiple. I've been a event professional throughout since last 10 years,
Okay, sir.
and I'm an MBA graduate. That's it. Uh,
Great, sir. So, since you're managing your kitchen from your home, so how do you
hmm.
manage your home kitchen and how many people do you have working with you?
So I'll answer the second part of the question first. I don't have anybody employed in my kitchen so far. It's it's me who manages. Plus, my wife also helps on the weekends because she has a full time. She's a full time corporate personnel. So from Monday to Fridays, she's busy with the office, and Saturday, Sunday, she dedicates the time in terms of packaging the food, in terms of preparing some ancillary things like a raita for the biryani or a chutney for the kebabs. So rest everything I've been managing on my own, and obviously my mother-in-law is there who helps me with at least reminding what is there in the stock, what is out of stock as of now. So that's a big aid for me.
Okay. And since we have seen like you love to cook non-veg dishes, so
Yeah.
what is your favorite dish to cook and why?
So it's like asking your baby to asking the father to name the favorite baby. Honestly speaking, uh, but obviously in terms of commercial values or the dish which has been selling the most, I think one of them is lal mas, which is a typical Rajasthani mutton dish. And especially since I love to explore the history of any particular dish, so the history of this dish is very interesting. Uh, the second dish is obviously in terms of sales or numbers, on which I love to eat and cook as well, is biryani. Both of them have been selling like hotcakes, and then have been my first love. Yeah.
So, sir, you must be having so many orders pouring in. So, how do you deal with customers? Like, how do you cope with the customer if he's not satisfied with his order, like, and wants it to like get it remade it? So, how do you cope with such situations?
See, honestly, with the kind of model I'm into, recooking is definitely impossible. Like, because if you both of you are non-vegetarian eaters, then you would understand a decent mutton dish will take at least 4 to 5 hours of time. And if that is not up to the mark, I don't have the enough time to redo those dishes. The best way I can pacify them is I'll not charge them for the order, or if they have paid for the money, if they've paid for the order, I'll make them a complete refund. That's the best way I can offer. And apart from that, obviously, I apologize to them that since I'm also learning a lot of new things in the market in terms of food industry. So it's always the first time. I could be at mistake because of at the end of the day, I'm also a human being. I could have added extra salt or extra chili in my gravies or in my in any dish which I prepare. But I think first and foremost, I need to calm down the consumer. There have been few instances like that, but once you calm down the consumer, just give a complete refund of that so that customer understand that the home chef or somebody who's serving them understands their pain, because at times it happens that he has a party, 20 people are coming. If some dish has gone wrong, then it's a complete blot on his botch on his guest as well, and he gets embarrassed in front of the guests as well. Luckily, that kind of thing hasn't happened. It's only one-on-one which has happened so far. But then I think first you need to pacify the customers and then refund. There are certain customers who don't even get pacified. This has happened with me once, and she hasn't ordered so far from me now till now. But that's fine. It happens in the industry. There, किसी को ताज का खाना भी पसंद नहीं आता, किसी को दाल बुखारा पसंद नहीं आती. But that's how a bad day looks like.
I'm sure it must be very difficult, keeping in the consistency in food quality and the taste as well. Must be difficult.
Yeah, that comes with experience only. Like once I've cooked like 20 times the same dishes, I could be a master in that. But if I've cooked 20 times the same dishes, but if I'm cooking that dish after 1 year, then obviously I'll have some few nuances which I would have forgotten.
Exactly. So how do you keep yourself updated with the latest, like the changing trends in the food industry?
So honestly, I've stopped reading those trends because COVID has generally impacted everything fuels it. All the trends, all those lavish restaurants with lavish interiors, COVID has turned everything upside down. And obviously, things have started to open a little bit as of now, but then it's not 100%. But one thing which I've noticed is during last 1 year, after the emergence of COVID-19, people started preferring food from trusted sources. Like Ishani could know me and would trust me that I prepare the food hygienically, because with COVID around, everybody was pretty much like scared of hygiene factor. So if Ishani knows me, she'll recommend Priyanka that okay, Khabu Khanebaz delivers hygienically proven food or hygienically nice food with taste as all. So that is one thing. Like word of mouth has really increased the sales numbers for a lot of kitchens, a lot of home chefs. And secondly, I have personally have started believing that uh, apart from few like five stars or big food chains, I don't think it's wise enough for new budding restaurants owners or new chefs to start their kitchen with very lavish interiors or with very high investments, because that will not give you that kind of return. If I spend 30 lakh rupees in my venture and if I have like five customers a day, I'll take probably 2 years or 3 years to recover that cost itself, plus the salaries, plus the variable expenses. So there's something minimalistic of maximum offering, minimalistic, not exactly comfort, but minimalistic design kind of thing that will work. That's why how cloud kitchens are working fantastically well these days.
That's true.
So, what qualities do you believe make a good chef?
Patience, patience, I believe that's it. Because apart from like cooking itself, when I'm cooking, I know especially because I'm into non-vegetarian food, so uh, mutton takes like what 4 hours, 5 hours, or even 6 hours of time. I can do that like in a pressure cooker as well, but then the slowness of cooking, that taste which comes out is something which my customers ask for. And the second thing, why patience I'm saying, because I could not have orders for like 10 days at a stretch or a 5 days at a stretch. So one should not get disheartened by that. But then, like it happened with me post Diwali, there was a sudden lull. For like 20 days, I'd not have probably more than 5 or 6 orders, all 20 days put together. But at the end of the year, when the New Year's Eve and Christmas came, I had decent amount of orders. So any which ways, it's like patience is necessary for any business. So as a chef, you also need to have patience, which is the biggest thing. And secondly, you need to play with your own resources very smartly. That's it,
Right.
I believe.
So, what is your experience in purchasing ingredients and building a budget?
So you'll not believe, like obviously at both of your places, you guys would be using ghee, right? A desi ghee which we get, and an average cost of 1 kg desi ghee is 500, 550. While exploring the market, I got to realize that that ghee is available at 400 bucks as well, or 350 as well. The same quality of ghee, same packaging. It's Amul ghee only. It's just that you have to find the right place to buy. Probably because I am now into commercial selling of food, so I'll buy 10 packs of ghee for a month. You'll buy 2 packs, so you'll that cost opportunity cost is very much less for you. But for me, if I were to say 150 rupees for 1 pack of ghee, that will translate 1500 bucks for me. So this is basically this applies to all the products, may it be the non-veg which I buy from the regular butcher, from the dhania patti which I buy from the regular sabzi wala, to the tomatoes of the world, to everything which I put. Just one big example I like to give. Everybody uses ginger garlic paste, right? And ginger garlic paste, it costs 45 rupees for a 200-gram packet, and which has obviously its own preservatives and everything. As simple as that, I bought some garlic, I bought some ginger, like 1 kg or 2 kgs. The entire paste was almost 1.5 kgs, which costed me 200 bucks. But obviously, it did not have any preservative. It has much more freshness. So these kind of things, basic things, could transform the journey altogether. That's how it's been, and obviously, I'm still learning. There are a lot of things which much more accomplished home chefs are doing or restaurant owners are doing, which I haven't so far.
So like based on your personal experiences and generally as well, like on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you feel that like how would you rate it? Like how do you feel that anyone can start a business on their own?
Yeah, it's just that you need to have that kind of passion. Simple. So अगर वैसे बोलूं तो see salary and corporates and everything, that's a vicious cycle, because end of the day, if you're performing, you get that 1 lakh or 2 lakh or 3 lakh, whatever your salary is, and the end of the day in your account. You have only eight hours or 10 hours of working every day. But with business, it's like 24/7 in the back of your mind. But honestly, anybody can start their own business based on the fact that what interests them. I've seen like a lot of my friends are were into pets, so they started dog kennels. One of them was into dog training, so he started dog training primarily. So a lot of these new opportunities, new things have come up in the market as of now, and especially I would say the times have changed. If I were like when I was like 14, 15 years old in 2000, year to, 2000, so at that point of time, it was much more difficult. Uh, if I were to say that my father would have started that kind of business, because he would not have got permission from his parents. And now these days, parents have also become much more supportive of their kids getting into new lines. So I think it's very easy. It's just that you need to have the right direction, right passion. That's it.
That's a great
And
thing.
obviously, I think necessity is the mother of invention. If it is necessary for you to survive, then you'll do anything to do that.
Exactly. I think these days that is the only thing, that's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's the need of the hour, as you said. So As you
completely.
know, through Prabhasha, we are trying to create a startup ecosystem, a network of all the thought
Mhm.
leaders across the world. So, what do you think of this initiative?
I had a word with Pratyush, not in detail, but I had a word with this regarding this with Pratyush. I think it's a fantastic platform for people like us who are not who are like in middle, not very high, not very low, but just like we've just started our work, just started our business. Probably we've got few loyal customers, few upcoming customers, few customers who are like circumspective of everything. But I think with this kind of platform. Many new people get to hear us, and probably it's like that they'll also give us a chance because there are 200 competitors in the market as well. So if like 50 of us come on board on this platform, then I think at least 50 of us will get a chance to hear some new voices and hear some new consumers or some advices, whatever it could be. So that will be very helpful for us.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. And since networking is the key nowadays, so yeah,
Correct.
we promote. So
Yeah,
food
in
service
my
can be
yeah.
stressful and busy. Can you explain how you work under pressure?
So when I started this business, I used to crumble under pressure a lot. So it's as I earlier said that once you start practicing a lot of things, then it comes on their own. Earlier, I used to take 4 hours to make a biryani. Now it's a matter of 1 hour only. It's just that once you practice everything, things will happen on their own. But obviously, at these times as well, when I have like 20 orders where I have to make 20 different dishes, then there is pressure that every dish will take 3 4 hours. So how will I manage? Is that planning is the biggest key. And obviously, since I have support of my wife and my mother-in-law, that really helps me. Because if I'm doing something, she'll help me with something else, and my mother-in-law will help me in something else. So and especially on weekends, so when I'm like really busy, when people like to order from outside, that's when their help counts a lot. So I think planning plus help from the right people in the right channel is the key.
Right.
So,
So
like, yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
you say.
So, like, how did COVID-19, could you just, in a summarized version, tell us how did the pandemic affect your life?
So being an event management professional, I used to do events, national, international, both. And with public gathering banned by the government, we were the first one to get impacted. We and hospitality and obviously airlines, transport, we were the first one to get impacted. So you might understand that what was the enormity of the impact. Entire events were down. Like for 4 months, we were sitting at home doing nothing, just chilling. What to do, what will happen. But obviously, with salary cuts, everything happening, we had to find a way out to come out of it. So that's when this idea struck me, and then a lot of my friends suggested who had eaten my food earlier during the parties or anywhere else. They suggested me, why not try this? So that's how I tried this, and then right now it's like doing decently good. That's it. But earlier it was really frustrating in the initial stages that okay, financial burdens, then obviously you can't sit for 60 days at home doing nothing, then just trying to figure out when will the office open, or when will salaries start coming regularly. So these kind of things were really frustrating in the beginning, but now it's like okay, now I have a separate way, separate income way of earning money. So slowly and gradually we have been like okay, it's fine as of now.
So, I think you're a great example of, someone who has made something out of the situation of the worst situation that we've all gone through.
Probably, but obviously, if that motivates others, then there's nothing like it.
And when listening all the negativities about COVID, so this is one area where many people have discussed. It is like used to. thing, and many people were able to discover their talent
Correct.
and passion to start a business out of it. So, sir, would you like to share a piece of advice you would like to share to the upcoming people, like who want to start something on their own but are a bit hesitant about starting?
See, it completely. Obviously, I'm not big enough to advise about it, but I would just give a suggestion that whatever you do it with complete passion. See, I started this home kitchen in the time of adversity. Otherwise, as I told earlier as well, salary is a very vicious cycle. If we only work hard for getting that salary at the end of the month, but once you have any kind of business or any kind of opportunity where you are your master of your own, then you'll start to think about it that okay, how to turn this 50,000 rupees into 1 lakh or a 2 lakh or a 5 lakh. But with salary, it will happen that okay, साल में एक बार appraisal हो गया, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा या bonus आ गया, that's it. That's how vicious it is. But obviously, that's the way of life. That's the way of life I had been following before the pandemic. But to come out of it, first of all, one needs to have a lot of courage, and then obviously a decent financial backup. Uh, there's no point taking a plunge when you are in dire straits, or rather, in my situation, I was in dire straits. That's why I took that plunge. So it's just that follow your passion, whatever you do. If it's your job, that if you like working, if you like advertising, whatever you do, just give your 100%. And when you are like bored of it, or when you think that okay, I have made a decent financial base, so that if I quit this job and sit at home or start something for 1 year, then my family will not get into any kind of trouble. Then it's very easy for anybody to start. That's how these startup ecosystem took place. So passion and right planning. That's it.
That's a valuable feedback, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, sir. I think that brings us to the end of our interview. So thank you again for being here with us, sir. And we best of luck. We wish you like keep on expanding your kitchen and continue to grow.
Thank you so much. I really thank you guys for considering me capable enough of taking this in or selecting me for this interview at all.
It was a pleasure to.
We are honored to have you.
Yes.
Same, same.
Okay, sir. Thank you
Thank you.
again, sir. Bye.
Thank you so much.